Recently, I've been asked this question. Pastor Dean, what are 5 books that greatly influenced your life and made you the person you are today? Well, I have read a lot of books. And of all the books that I've read, if there are 5, I'll give you 5 of them today that influenced my life at pivotal times. I'm going to do them in order. And I hope and trust this is a help to you. Maybe I can recommend them to you. They'll be a help to you. The number 1 book that has influenced my life is this book right here, Ordering Your Private World by Gordon MacDonald. This is a must read. If you've never read this book, read this book. It talks about what's going on the inner man. It affects the outer man. When I was 34 years old, I sort of kind of had a ministry reset. I had been prioritizing ministry above family, and the Lord convicted me of that. And this book came in my path during that time period, and I made the proper adjustments. So, Ordering Your Private World, I go back to this book a lot. The second book that influenced my life, made me the person that I am today, is this book here, How Should We Then Live? By Dr. Francis Schaeffer. It's an intellectual book, but I read this book when I was first 17 years old. I first read it when I was 17. I was in high school. My high school history teacher showed the video series on this. I wound up reading it again in humanities in college. But at 17 years old, I took 2 trips that impacted my life. I went to Washington, D.C., and I went to Jerusalem in Israel. And I had just accepted Christ, and this was very formative. It gave ideas, influenced civilizations, and it had a lot of good things about it, very formative about where to build my life and how to build my life moving forward. So, incredible book. The third book that influenced my life, and once again, this came in my path. A deacon gave me this book when I was 34 years old. Once again, it was in the midst of that ministry reset. That I went through about 3-month season there where I had to make some adjustments in my life years ago, along with Ordering Your Private World. But this is a must read for any pastor. Dangerous Calling by Paul David Tripp. If you've never read this book and you're in the ministry, I encourage you to read this book, because ministry, the call to ministry, is a double-edged sword if you allow the devil to get into your life. So, incredible book. I go back to this book a lot, and this is such an incredible book because I got the first edition, and the pastors that endorse this are no longer in the ministry. Shows you how serious the subject of this is. Influenced my life. Another one is this. John Ortberg wrote this book called When the Game Is Over, It All Goes Back in the Box. That's book number 4. This book, I read this book for the first time at 26 years old, and my first part-time ministry position when I was apprenticing at a church in Winston-Salem. And I was a kid full of ambition, eager to get my foot in the door, do something for the Lord. And this taught me the idea of mortality. No matter what you do, at some point you will pass away if Christ does not come back. Incredible read. It really appealed to me because I'm a competitor. I love sports. And when the game is over, it all goes back in the box. A final book during the same time period, 26 years old, Pastor Ed Sears told me about this book. He's in heaven now. I apprenticed under him for a couple years, learned ministry from him, shadowed him and things when I was on staff at Grace Baptist Church in Winston. And this book, Gordon MacDonald, once again, A Resilient Life. Hebrews 12, 1 through 3, about running your race with patience, resilience. Begin your ministry with the end in mind, and give 7 incredible principles of how to live in a resilient life. So, to answer that person's question, what were the 5 books that has influenced my life to this point? Those are the 5. I hope you read them. I hope you check them out. And whatever season of your life you're in, those are really good books on life and ministry. Have a good day.